I was talking to Bishop Brian Tamaki yesterday, just after his jail release. Now, whether you agree with him or not, or whether you agree with everything he says or not, he is making a stand for the freedom of all Kiwis, for nurses, teachers, port workers, now prison workers, who many have lost their jobs due to the no jab, no job mandate. And also he's making a stand for all the hideous lockdown measures that are currently ruling in our nation. I mean, our Prime Minister has put upon us some maddening restrictions. I want to talk about it. Look at the South Island. Businesses are going broke. People are committing suicide. Kids are under stress. And for what reason, pray tell? There's no team of 5 million here. I mean, here we are trapped in Auckland. Who would have ever thought that a Prime Minister would ever tell us that you cannot even have your friends over? That if you do have them over, they can't use your toilet. Or, okay, they can, but they can't congregate in the toilet. And then she went on to say, if you go to your girlfriend's place, okay, but there's no overnight activities. Years ago, I remember when another group stated what we do in our bedroom is none of your business, and the then Labour government agreed with them. But today we see all our freedoms, not just over COVID, but our freedoms being stripped away. What a nanny state we have become. And even Jacinda Ardern, our Prime Minister, telling us that she feels very maternal when she thinks of all of you. Well, to be honest, I'm not sure what it's going to take to wake up New Zealand. This government, who we the people voted in, who are there to serve all New Zealanders, they are not there to control us, to tell us what we can and cannot do, to hand out money for those who, can't get to work or whatever. Maybe today's 10 a.m. traffic light announcements will wake up New Zealand. All I can say when I was watching it, Nazi Germany has arrived in New Zealand. Now, I know that can sound pretty harsh, but it's like the Yellow Star citizens, those unvaccinated people, let's bar them from society. Do you know this pits people against people? It divides families, it divides communities, it divides churches, it divides businesses, divides sectors of society that should never be divided, all over a personal health choice. This is unbelievable, New Zealand. Even the plan to financially penalize businesses or people for not using the vaccine passport, this is just incredible. If people think that 90% is going to bring us back to normality, you're a fool. Look at Israel. Look at Norway. They're on to their third booster shot and COVID is still there. Vaccinating people are still being hospitalized. But the world has got on with it. But look at New Zealand. We are being sold a lie. And unfortunately, a lot of people are believing it. This government has lied and lied. Jacinda told us, no one will lose their jobs over this. Yeah, right. Then she said, we won't be using domestic vaccine passports. Yeah, right. Oh, we'll open up our borders at 70%. Yeah, right. Then 80%, then 90%. I didn't hear much about our borders today, but through fear, New Zealand is being controlled, conforming to the most hideous, cruel, even barbaric, inhumane rules. For example, we're living in a country where you can't even have a proper funeral service to see a loved one off, where our elderly people are living out their last days alone without even having a visitor, without being able to see their family. I see in the news that there are 2 now retirement homes that have said, blow it. Our residents need their families and friends. This is what it's going to take, New Zealand, for everyone to rise up and say, enough is enough. We're just going to open up. Imagine if the South Island just said, we are going to open up. Think about a young couple's dream to have their big day, their wedding day. They can't even plan a proper wedding. We've got couples that are on to their 3rd postponement of their big day. Good people are losing their jobs over a free choice medical decision. Good people who have mortgages to pay, families to feed. Apart from the fact we already have a massive shortage of nurses and teachers. But many of these great people who've served us for many years and now they are fired. This is just not right, New Zealand. This is wrong and it must stop. Literally, thousands of medical operations have been cancelled due to this lockdown, with people dying because they can't get the medical treatment that they need. But hey, I guess they don't count. Kids are in tears, trying to sit exams with masks on. They can't even breathe properly, feeling restricted. Exams can have enough pressure. And then they want to vaccinate 12 years and up to be able to come to school. Teenagers are breaking down. For me personally, having thousands of people that I'm pastorally responsible for, this past 2 weeks, we had 4 people die in our congregations. And we can't even take care of the families properly. We can't be there to support them. We can't even visit people, our people, when they're in hospital. We can't comfort them. We can't pray for them. Obviously, we can't meet as a church, which is vital for everybody's spiritual, emotional, and even physical health. All because of a virus that, due to the fear-mongering and the media and the government, have people conforming to. They forget that the death rate of this virus is only 2% of those who get it, and of the 2%, 99% of people who die of that 2% have other major health symptoms like obesity, diabetes, and even cancer. And talking of cancer, did you hear that over this lockdown period, this last lockdown period, our current one, 133 ladies and counting will have developed breast cancer. And now it's gone undetected because there's no screening happening. Wow, don't they count? Here in Auckland, sadly, we had 1 person die of COVID in this current outbreak, and it's like the whole sky falls in. The media nor the government seem to care about the 93 other Kiwis who died this week. They don't make the news. The gloom and the doom of the so-called experts and their prediction. It's all about the number of cases to scare people, where often healthy people discover that they have the virus after being tested. I'm sick, and I hope you are, of the daily reports of the number of cases. So getting back to Bishop Brian, his court case is really a matter of his and other Kiwis having the basic right under a human law to peacefully protest. Although the last one was actually under the guise of a picnic in the park, which, by the way, our Prime Minister so graciously allowed us to be. Mr. Doom and Gloom comes on TV saying, super spreader, super spreader. I have to say, have you been to Mission Bay or Long Bay on a sunny Saturday lately? What is the law in New Zealand? Is it our Bill of Rights? Or is it all these new rules under the guise of emergency powers due to climate change? Pray tell me, what does climate change have to do with it? And where is the opposition party? They are no better at present. I am so disappointed. Oh, how people like the power, and once they have it, they won't let it go. So the old saying is true. Power corrupts, and absolute power absolutely corrupts. And everyone should read what this government are proposing for May 2022 to May 2023 under these new emergency powers. You think it's bad now? Our nation needs prayer, and it does need people like Bishop Brian, who at least has the guts to stand up and say, enough is enough. The last thing, and I have to laugh, is one of my apparent critics who I've never met, don't know, who lives overseas somewhere, accused me and is concerned that I would be reading and watching Rebel News, which apparently is a conservative news feed. Funny truth is, someone sent me a clip from Rebel News in Australia of a vaccinated nurse protesting with their unvaccinated colleagues because they've lost their jobs. And the screenshot, which is a fair comment, and it's on this platform, it read, if vaccinated people can still catch and pass on COVID-19, why are we not losing our jobs? Well, that's true. Now, the full 1-minute clip is actually on a special meeting that I held, and it's on our website, and you're welcome to go there. I spoke about vaccine mandates and passports that I saw coming. But anyway, I digress. The thing is to my critics, I don't watch Rebel News. I never have watched Rebel News. Maybe I should start. But you know what? The person who accused me of doing something I don't do, I am sure that they watch things that I don't agree with. And you know what? I'm not going to tell them what to watch and what they can't watch. People, media, are funny for sure. They make all kinds of false accusations, just like they have for years about Bishop Brian and Hannah. One day, we will all have to give an account to the man upstairs for what we have done and not done. All I can say is, New Zealand, we'd better wake up before it's too late.